Agile software development. What is an agile method of development? So first, what does agile even mean? To be able to run quickly and easily now. Put into context, what does it mean? An agile development would be a method for anything, however, usually for software, that divides tasks into short phases of work so that developers can assess things. So in short, it makes life oh so much easier for developers. But, what is it really doing? It's really about thinking through how you can understand what's going on in the environment that you're in today, identify what uncertainty you're facing, and figure out how you can adapt to that as you go along. Scrum. About Scrum. Scrum is an agile development method which concentrates specifically on how to manage tasks within a team-based development environment. It consists of 3 teams. Scrum Master. Master is responsible for setting up the team, sprint meeting and removes obstacles to progress. The product owner creates product backlog, prioritizes the backlog and is responsible for the delivery of the functionality at each iteration. Scrum team manages its own work and organizes the work to complete the sprint or cycle. Sprint. About sprint. Sprint is basically when you iterate Scrum. Each iteration is called a sprint. A Scrum follows a specific flow. Each iteration of a Scrum is known as sprint. Product backlog is a list where all details are entered to get the end product during each sprint. Series of product backlog are selected and turned into sprint backlog. Team works on the defined sprint backlog. Team checks for the daily work at the end of the sprint. Team delivers product functionality. Point. About point. It is a metric used in project management and development to estimate the difficulty, or you could say how much effort is needed to implement a certain feature. It tells the team the difficulty level. It is perhaps the most difficult thing for a developer to decide, as they must give an estimate a company will rely on. It is a key stage of software developing. How does OpenMRS implement this methodology? How? OpenMRS uses a system of define, code and test. This is also known as sprints, just as we have looked at. In 2-week periods there are periods of review and test also. Point. Defines how much a team can commit. A point usually refers to 8 hours, or is estimated in points. Capacity. Defines how much an individual can commit. Capacity is estimated in hours. Release planning. A rough estimate is given to a user story using relative scale as points. Iteration planning. The story is broken down into tasks, requirements, defined as a user story with acceptance criteria and tasks to implement the story. Daily stand-up. A daily status meeting among all team members, and it is held roughly for 15 minutes. Release planning. Release planning. Create a plan to deliver an increment to the product. It is done after every 2 to 3 months. Iteration planning. Purpose is for the team to complete the set of top-ranked product backlog items. This commitment is time-boxed based on the length of team velocity. Product backlog. A list of items to be done. Items are ranked with feature descriptions. In an ideal scenario, items should be broken down into user stories. Thank you for watching and listening.